Hello there, I'm Matt Wiederhold with Medina Minute. We're hanging out today inside Cool Beans with our view on the square and talking with some of the interesting people from around town. Today we have Commissioner Tim Smith here, and we're going to get a chance to hear the backstory of what does a county commissioner do, and then also Commissioner Smith's thoughts and beliefs on town.
Wow.
So Commissioner, thank you so much for joining
so
me
you're interviewing
today.
interesting people.
Yes, we're interviewing interesting
go get some
people,
people
and
and
you're
bring them in.
here.
Oh,
You
I'm
are
here?
here.
Okay,
You
good.
are right. So help me understand. I live in the city of Medina. I work in the city of Medina, but there are these three people called county commissioners that run the bigger picture. What does a county commissioner do?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
I mean, really,
we got
what do
this
you
nice
do?
office. There's a nice office building over there we go to. No, you have a county government. You got three major cities here.
Okay.
Medina, Brunswick, and Wadsworth.
Right.
And they have their own governments. Okay,
Sure,
that run
sure.
that part of it. But then you have this whole other outside area where you have to have the sheriff's department. You got to have roads.
Right.
There's board of elections. There's a welfare, what they call job and family services. And so you got to have somebody who oversees all that.
Yeah.
So in the city, you have council people.
Right.
And then you have a mayor running everything. And for the county, you have three commissioners, and then you have a county executive
Okay.
who's running everything. And then there's about 24 boards. There's actually 24 boards, altogether 80 boards, commissions, and departments.
Holy cats.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So you have to oversee all of that?
1,000 employees, almost a $40 million budget, $36 million.
How did you
budget.
get involved in politics?
Well, I was up in Brunswick, and I was not happy.
Okay.
I could see that Brunswick, this was 12 years ago, Brunswick wasn't being promoted very well. And I thought, what? This is a great city. It's a great county. I had an office on 18 here in Medina, and I thought, what are we doing to promote this place? So I'd complain to people, and one guy goes, you should be on city council. I'm like, you're crazy.
Sure.
Because I was a business person.
Yeah.
I used to own 4 furniture stores back in Michigan,
Okay.
where I'm originally from. And I thought governments were set up to keep business people from becoming successful.
Absolutely.
That's what it seemed like, because
Sure.
they were always complaining about my parking or my signs or something.
Yeah.
And so this guy talked me into being a city councilman. So I applied and ended up on city council for 5 years, mostly working on economic development.
Okay.
And some on Parks and Rec and tourism. And so when I was doing all that, the city manager goes, man, you'd be a great economic development person. And I go, well, I have no background in that. And he goes, no, Tim, you don't get it. You've been doing economic development for the city for 5 years for free.
Sure.
We would just pay you. Now we would pay you.
Sounds
And I
pretty
went,
good.
Okay.
Where in Michigan are you from?
I'm from a place called Bay City,
Sure. Okay.
which is about 100 miles north of Detroit.
Yep. Beautiful city.
Birth city, little known fact,
Okay.
birth city of Madonna.
Really?
Yeah, Madonna, you want to win a bar bet? Say, where was Madonna born? And they all think she was born in Detroit, but she moved to Detroit. And but she was born.
Did you know her?
My mother knew her mother, and
Really?
I played with her cousins.
So the Kevin Bacon, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
yeah.
Okay, that's
I
cool.
played with her cousins.
How furniture stores? Was that a family business, or is that a passion of yours?
No, I worked at Sears, and I sold a fence to a guy who owned a furniture store, and I thought, I'm not learning much at Sears, so I went to work for him.
Okay.
And worked my way up to be a manager of one of his stores, and then I thought I could do this. So I rented a building and ordered furniture, and then built that into 4 furniture stores.
So your career, and please take this as a compliment, you've kind of had this gypsy of a career that something is interesting.
I'm unstable,
or
is
you
what I am. No, I'm ADD, so
I can relate to that.
I'm doing lots of things all at once.
How did you end up in Brunswick, Ohio, from Bay City, Michigan? Then.
Well, I went into I sold the furniture stores and retired for the first time. I think I've been retired 4 times now. Retired.
That's great at 29.
Oh, I know it.
And you've done fantastic.
Yeah, it was fun. And so what I thought is a guy was doing sales and marketing and training and all that.
Okay.
So I started helping him, just as something fun to do, because I train all these salespeople at my stores.
Sure.
And so I thought, if you have a really good salesperson, you don't know they're a salesperson.
Right.
Most people think of the pushy car salesman, they think that's a salesman. No, that's not a salesman.
No.
A good salesman really comes across as a consultant. He's there to help you.
Good point.
And so I just thought, I'd really like to teach that type of salesmanship. Not the pushy kind of buy now, this is the only chance you're ever going to get
Sure.
to get this deal. And so I went into this company, and he had 4 salespeople that were selling computer service.
Okay.
And I went in to sell him sales training, and he's like, you got to come and train my salespeople how to sell computer service. And so he ended up hiring me to do that and expand his company nationally. He was only in one city.
Okay.
Expand it nationally. And the trick bag of the whole thing is I didn't own a computer. I'd never turned on a computer before.
Wow.
And
That's pretty brilliant, though.
So for 3 years, my brain just hurt trying to learn all this computer jargon and how they operate and all that kind of stuff. But
and here we are today.
yeah, but this is what he explained to me. And for the people who get nervous about computers, what he explained to me is he said, well, don't be nervous about computers. He said, it's just a glorified adding machine or a glorified typewriter. That's about all it is.
True.
And he said, you see that goldfish? That goldfish is smarter than this computer. And that, for some
Because
reason,
the goldfish thinks for itself.
yeah, it does.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so he said, anybody can learn how to do this stuff. And so then I bought my first computer. It cost $3,000.
Yeah.
And a printer was $600. And so prices have come down since then.
And now you're a conglomerate, major business owner in the computer world.
Yeah.
So furniture, I knew someone who played with Madonna. And you've been all over the place. You are a bit ADD. I love that.
Yeah.
So, all right, I know that you have a passion for hot air balloons.
Oh, yes.
And photography.
I did 4 hot air balloon launches so far.
Where did that come from? Was it, again, you were driving along from the furniture store to the computer store and saw a balloon and jumped on?
Well, I have a whole package of things that I want to put together. I was going to put it together in Brunswick, but I think I'm going to do it somewhere in the county here of events. I'm big on tourism, and that being a part of economic development too.
Sure.
And so part of the package of that I was working on putting together was hot air balloon launches.
Right.
And so I met a guy who had a hot air balloon. He lived down the street from me. Been up in a hot air balloon a couple times with him.
Okay.
And the part that I was wondering about the most is how windy is it out there? Okay.
Sure.
Because there isn't any wind. I go, what do you mean there isn't any wind? You're up there. And he goes, no, the balloon moves the same speed as the wind. So you don't feel the wind.
Oh, interesting.
So if the wind is 6 or 7, 10 miles an hour, that's how fast you're
with
moving.
it.
There's no wind.
That's an
And
interesting
so
thought.
I said, I want you to be a part of this thing that I'm putting together.
Yeah.
And so he happened to be head of the Pilots Association. And so we got 7 hot air balloons together and launched them in Brunswick.
Yeah.
And then they flew over Brunswick Lake, and they like to do this thing where it's splash and dash, where they like to go in the water and then come back up again. Mm-hmm. And I ran over there. I'm also a photographer. And so I ran over there and took pictures of the whole thing, and now that's the iconic pictures that Brunswick uses of
fantastic.
the hot air balloons over Brunswick Lake.
If you have downtime, which it sounds like maybe you don't, so photography, hot air balloons, economic development, what other hobbies?
Gardening. I love
Really?
flowers. I love all the flowers that we have here in downtown Medina. I'm always planting something.
Okay.
I'm always growing. I like growing from seeds. It's almost like the economic development. I've grown 4 kids.
Okay.
I've grown, Brunswick. Now I want to help grow the rest of the county.
Sure.
And I like growing flowers, and
What-
so that's a theme.
As a county commissioner, I think you have a bit of a unique perspective because you are that overarching guy who's making
Right.
sure everything is functioning well and working as a team. But what do you think are some of the major assets of the county that people just don't realize we have or that are even here?
One of the things is the location we have is fabulous. We have
Right.
major intersection that goes through it. I tell people, have you ever seen the movie A River Runs Through It? And they go like, yeah. And I go, well, Medina County has an expressway that runs through it.
Literally.
You know, east and west and north and south.
Sure.
And I said, so it's really easy to get to. Then we have all these fabulous tourist spots. You know, this is one right here.
Mm-hmm.
I came here 25 years ago and walked through downtown Medina and went, okay, I'm in love.
Really?
This is where I want to live. 'Cause
Okay.
It reminded me of my hometown for
Okay.
one thing. And then you have Mapleside up in Brunswick, which they'll have 30,000 people come out to an event on a weekend.
Sure.
Tell
Huge
me
destination.
Yeah, it's a destination type of a place. And so you have all those things. I would start to find out things like the Bob Evans in Brunswick was the #1 Bob Evans in the whole United States.
Really?
You know, and so I started discovering these things about Medina County. Of course, you have the giants in Seville, you know.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever seen that plaque, but these people were like 8 feet, 9 feet tall or something like that.
They were huge.
So then I was just in Homerville,
Okay.
where all the Amish people
Sure.
are. They have a big auction there. I just found out this weekend. A guy named Stan Sheets gave me a tour of the southern part of the county, and we ended up in Homerville.
Yeah.
And all the stop signs all say "whoa."
They
don't
say whoa?
Yeah, they don't say stop. They say whoa. And I just love that kind of stuff.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and so you don't know until you get out and see this stuff. And I just have a habit of going out and walking into businesses or walking into events and, you know, introducing myself and finding out how they all work. And
Does the backside say giddy up?
good idea.
That's cracking me up. Where do you see the county going in the next 10 years? I know we went through 20, 30 years of major growth, particularly in the city of Medina. But countywide, where do you see us going or evolving into what?
Well, things that I would like to be involved in is the tourism.
Sure.
All right. I think that's very highly underrated and not promoted enough. And so I plan on getting into that quite a bit now that I'm over the whole county. And then, of course, my whole background in the last 12 years have been economic development. And so, you know, we just have an untapped resource of a terrific economic development area here, being fueled by some of the sharpest business people I've ever met in my life.
Okay.
I mean, we have businesses in Medina County that are the #1 business of what they do in the whole United States.
Yeah.
One of them is inflatable images, you know?
There's so many things here that I don't think people realize are here.
Right. And so, you know, those things I think need to be brought out, and then those people need to be coordinated. I'd like to brand the Medina County as a brand, and have people familiar with, you know, what was here.
I like it. I like it. Well, Commissioner, thank you. I know that you're a busy man and you have to run, but thank you so much for the time and the insights.
Yeah,
It's
we're
always
going.
a
You know what I'm
pleasure.
going to do now?
I don't.
Talk trash.
Perfect.
I've learned more about trash in the last 5 months than I ever wanted to know, and now there's a presentation of a company that could recycle 90% of the trash.
That would be
We're
fantastic.
talking about
It's another hot issue around the
Yeah,
county.
it's a
I
big
know.
hot issue, and so this company I've been interviewing and talking with, and now they're going to do a presentation. So that's my next appointment I got to get
Well,
to.
good luck with that.
All
Thank
right.
you so much for your
Thank you
time.
very much, Matt.
You have a great day.
All right, you too.